looked. Hola, hola. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon and good evening and good morning somewhere out there in the world. This is Nuestra Comunidad, Northwest Indiana. That's our community, Northwest Indiana, live in the studios. Aquí en vivo, aquí en Nuestra Comunidad, Northwest Indiana. ¿Cómo estás, Juanito?
I'm great. I'm really great.
Feliz Viernes. Happy Friday to you guys. The views expressed by the host and the callers of the show are not necessarily the views of WLTH radio management, owners, and sponsors and advertisers. Can you say that like real quick, Juanito?
I did already.
You did? That quick?
Yeah.
All right. So we are just making some announcements first. We have a special guest coming on in a few minutes, and we'll get to see what other leaders do, what other people are doing in Chicago. And before we go into any announcements, shout out to my FES family, mi familia, Financial Education Services. Shout out to my upline, my downline, my team, my whole family. We are a wonderful family with a great culture. And because we have one thing in common, and that is G-O-D, God. So what do you have over there, Juanito?
I'm not going to mention his last name, but his first name is Frank, and he's a friend of mine. I think graduated with my brother. He is not doing too well at all. I went to go see him at the hospital yesterday, and today I heard he's even worse. So if anyone think, ladies and gentlemen, if you can pray for Mr. Frank, a friend of mine, and my brothers. I'm sure a lot of people out there. Also, last Saturday was the free 6-hour, although it lasted a bit shorter, beginners workshop on screenwriting. I think there were 3 people altogether that had registered to go that didn't go. It might have been because of the weather. But point is this, those that went really appreciated what this gentleman had to offer on behalf of Indiana Filmmakers Network. Also, next Saturday is the last Saturday of the month of January, the Saturday right before the February 3rd caucus. So I'm going to give my perspective about and my school of thought as it relates to what to consider with the primary election this year for President of the United States. Also, you know what? One thing I didn't do last Saturday, and that is
because we got a call.
Great news on behalf of Juan David Campo Largo, the 17-year-old now. Here he goes. Greetings, Mr. Andrade. I hope you had a great 2019, and I wish a 2020 filled with health, love, and prosperity. Best wishes. I wanted to let you know that my book has been successfully published, and it's available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk about this more tomorrow, but this is a 16-year-old. I don't know at what age did he start writing this book, but now he says it has been successfully published. He just turned 17. And then tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, my special guest on behalf of Nuestra Comunidad is Klein Avenue Bridge. Take it away.
And thank you, Klein Avenue Bridge people, those that are administrating their pages, for following us. We appreciate that. And we have a caller on that note. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Hello there. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't really know what you guys were talking about.
Oh, hey, Shane. How you doing? I didn't hear your voice at first.
That's okay.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Hi, Shane.
And my birthday was on the 2nd, too. So
oh, well, happy birthday and Happy New Year, Shane.
Yeah, thank you.
What's going on?
I knew I wanted to tune into your show today.
Okay.
But I was able to recently have my smart TV hooked up to some apps, and I was looking up your guys' station, and I finally got to see what you two look like.
And how do we look?
Older than I always pictured, and if you don't mind my saying so, Eve, you are beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. I received that. Thank you. I don't know if everybody agrees with that, but thank you.
What's on your mind?
Well,
you really want to know how much time you got, Juan? You got a minute. Go ahead, Shane.
I just wanted to say that, I always listen to the station, and it's a good station and a good show. And
thank you.
I'm glad you guys are still on.
Yes, most definitely. We are 9 years plus strong.
Wow. Yeah, I seen an interview around when you guys first moved to Gary.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know how long ago that was?
It looked like maybe in 17. That can't be right, though.
No, I think it was longer than that because this is the third place we've moved to, from Maryville to Broadway and now here on Fifth Avenue. But I appreciate you listening and continue to listen. We have a guest coming on and talk about the great things that she is doing with her organization and to help pave the way to our young entrepreneurs.
Oh, well, that's good, too. It's always good to concentrate and let our youth know that they're important.
Awesome. That's right. That's right. Great. Thank you so much, Shane.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Continue to listen. This is Nuestra Comunidad Noroeste de Indiana, aquí radicando en 1370 AM y 92.7 FM. And our streaming is going on. It's happening. That's 1370WLTH.com. Is that correct? 1370WLTH.com. Okay.
And what else?
We're on YouTube and we're on Facebook.
And
Thank you
where
for
else?
following us on 92.7 and 1370. I said that first one.
92.7 what?
That was the first thing I said,
Is it
Juan.
AMF or FM?
I'm going to repeat for those that didn't catch on. 92.7 FM and 1370 AM and 1370WLTH.com and on YouTube and Facebook. We want to thank you for joining us. Buenas tardes. Aquí nuestros seguidores de Facebook. Saludos a todos ustedes. There's so many things going on in the community. And let me just tell you real quick, tú, Juanito, I was actually coming out of this place yesterday, which the founder will be calling in shortly. Telemundo newscast came out. Mm-hmm. They passed us and they're like, hey, is there any one of you? And there was 3 of us that came out of the building. Is there anyone out there or any one of you speak Spanish? And of course, it is me. Mm-hmm. It is moi. So they wanted to know what my thoughts were on the change where with CPS, the security officers seem to want to take full authority and take it upon their hands physically to become in altercations with the students, manhandle them, brutality, violence, and all of that. And of course, I was speaking as a parent yesterday, and being that I'm in Chicago, that came out yesterday at 4 o'clock and at 5 o'clock. Telemundo, for some of you may have seen it. I did not see it myself. Juanito, your hands are slipping over there. But it is important. I don't know what parents think about that. No sé, ayer Telemundo me entrevistó por unos momentos acerca del cambio de las escuelas públicas de Chicago y la seguridad de los que se toman mucho en su autoridad y forman en una manera violenta con los estudiantes. Y pues claro, yo estoy en contra de la violencia en total. Yo estoy en contra de que le pongan las manos a un estudiante. Lo que pasa es que estamos hablando de I'm going to say this in English too, okay, guys, so bear with me. Lo que pasa es que nuestros estudiantes ya están pasando por mucho y actúan o reactúan de una manera que quizá no sea tan bien o tan buena, pero no sabemos en dónde está el mundo de ellos, en dónde está la mente de ellos, ¿sí? Entonces, al igual, los de seguridad, ellos no van a aguantar una falta de respeto o que alguien les escupe o que alguien les alce la voz o les digan maldiciones o lo que sea, ¿verdad? Pero aún todavía en mi razón como madre de hijos, no me gustaría que alguien le pusiera la mano a mi hijo o hija, especialmente puedan tener alguna condición física o mentalmente y no saben. Entonces, ahí resulta una demanda, ¿sí? Así es que no sé qué es lo que piensan ustedes en el cambio, que los de la escuela, los de la administración, son los responsables de lo que les está pasando a nuestros hijos mientras están en posesión de ellos, mientras están en las escuelas de ellos. I'm talking about what are your thoughts about security, manhandling our students, your children. I was speaking as a mom in the interview, not as an activist, not as a mentor, not as an advocate or leader whatsoever. I was speaking coming from a parent. I would not want someone else to put their hands on my child. Now, if my child is in an environment that is not healthy, that's bad enough already, these kids only react to what they know. And if they don't know better, I bet you, I promise you that they won't do better. I see adults not knowing better. Therefore, they're not going to do better. And I hear a lot of you saying, oh, yeah, they know better. They know better. This, they do. They know better. No, they don't. Because if they did, then they wouldn't do half the stuff that they do. So that's what I was briefly talking about, interviewed about that yesterday. And so what I learned about this one facility that I said, for those of you that know me, I don't like wasting my time in talking about problems. Let me use my time and talk about the solution. So what are we going to do about it? We know the problem exists. We know the school to prison pipeline exists. To my educators, I love you, but dang, come on now. Dang, Gina, we are systematically messing our Black and brown kids' lives. That's the truth. Same thing with prison. If we don't mess them up in the young age, Juan won't be as busy. Or you people in prison won't have a job. So what are we going to do? I don't want my kids to be sent to prison for what they're doing. I want my kids to be loved and cared for and be brought up in a better way. But that's in a perfect world. Well, then you know what? Why are we part of the problem? Why are we bashing our kids? Why are we labeling them, calling them idiots, morons, 8-balls, calling them MFers and all of that other grotesque things? Why are we doing that to them? Society, my colleagues, why are we doing that? When we suspend them, when we expel them, what do you think we're doing? We are not part of the solution. We are part of the problem. Now, I sit on 2 school boards and I speak out on that. I do not like any student to be expelled or to be suspended because we are throwing them out. Where, Juan? What are we doing to our kids when they get expelled or they get suspended?
They get into more trouble.
Hello! They get out on the streets. Their parents are working, so who's going to watch them? They're out running the streets, doing what they don't know better. Causing havoc. Wreaking havoc, getting into drugs, getting into alcohol, getting into gangs. What do they say? Looking for love in all the wrong places? Some kids get high to go numb. That's not the solution. That adds a problem to the problem. I've heard it from some students. They drink to get numb. They get high to get numb. Why? Well, Miss Eve or Mama Eve, is because I've been raped. It's because I've been molested. It's because my parents don't know what's happened to me. They don't want to listen to me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to reach the superficial thing and just get me numb for that moment so that I won't feel bad for that moment. So let's talk about solutions. And this beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, I'm going to post her picture on her website in just a few minutes on social media. This is probably our guest. Go ahead. You're on the air.
I am here. This is Sunny.
Well, hello, Sunny.
Hello, EVE.
Hey, I was just talking about the great things that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on today. I really appreciate it. You are so amazing and so vibrant yesterday. I am so happy to talk to you again today.
Amen. Amen. But if you don't mind, Sunny, don't go anywhere. We're going to play a couple of commercials. So we'll be right back after these commercials, guys. Don't go anywhere.
I don't think I put it on vibrate, so no problem.
It'll just ringing on the, but you have to get up and turn it off. That's all.
16-year-old, 17-year-old gets the books published. What can I say?
He's not the first. I'm not impressed by that, Juan. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But he's not the first. Do you know how many people we have locally here? That's who I need to look for.
Have we had him on the program?
That's what I need to look for.
Okay.
Those kids.
So once again, señorita, Saturday, if you know you're not going to be
Yeah, I
here,
heard you.
please
Oh, so
show
it's
me
not
your
tomorrow? tomorrow?
No,
Oh,
it's
it's the
next Saturday.
20th.
Tomorrow's the 18th. Tomorrow we got, and it's in there. Tomorrow we got Pine Avenue Bridge.
Yes. That's right. They are following us.
So it's in there. Pine Avenue Bridge.
So what do you guys think about what we're talking about? I know I'm right, but you get what I'm saying. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Are you part of the problem or part of the solution? I'm just saying. And then what's even worse, sometimes kids get kept in the school not learning anything so they can continue to receive cha-ching, right? Parents, did you know that your child has a dollar amount on their head? Parents, did you know that you can get some things done?
Hey, baby sugar. This is Latrice from the Tommy Latrice Show. Listen to us.
Ay.
Hey, Latrice Show. From 8 p.m. to 11. Right here on WLTH AM 1370 and 92.7 FM.
30 seconds.
That's a nice, smooth song.
Soft jazz.
Great.
That's what I'm listening to right now on the series before they cut it off.
10 seconds. And you are back.
All right. Welcome back to Nuestra Comunidad, Noreste de Indiana. Welcome to WLTH, the Region's Choice and the People's Voice, AM 1370 and 92.7, and also WLTH1370.com. We are back streaming live. We are alive, and we have a beautiful young lady on the air right now. Special guest, Sunny Davis. Sunny, besides being beautiful, I want to thank you publicly here for what you're doing. And I was just before you came on, I was discussing the issues of people being part of the problem and not part of the solution when they label our kids, when they suspend them, and when they expel them. That is not the answer to decreasing the crimes. On the contrary, it increases crime. So here we are, you part of a solution, we're part of a solution, but they just need to get on the ball and jump on this type of this wagon, right?
I truly believe that if you can find out what a child is passionate about and what drives them at a very early age, you can get them out of harm's way. You can get them involved in programs. You can get them involved in things that will really, really, put them on the trajectory for a better life.
Right.
Sometimes I feel they're just roaming aimlessly through life, and they don't really know that you're here for a purpose. You're designed to be here for a purpose. So what we do at the ARC Entrepreneurial Center, we help children find what it is that they are, set out to do. What it is that is something in you that is going to help you to be a better person, help you to do that next thing that God is calling you to do. So at the ARC Entrepreneurial Center, one of the things that I'll just give you a little bit about it.
Well, first of all, I know you want to jump into it real quick. Sunny, who is Sunny? Tell the listeners who you are, where you're from, what brings you here.
My name is Sunny Davis. I'm a mother of 4.
Ooh, you don't look it, girl. You do not look it.
My oldest is about to be 20 in March, and I have a 13-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So I am a mommy of 4. I actually started my career helping people start businesses. So at a very young age, I would say like in my 20s, early 20s, I worked for a company that allowed people to start their own cleaning franchises. So I worked in that office as the regional director, and I helped people that were interested in starting their own businesses. So I started that at a very young age. And now I'm doing that with children. I'm helping them start their own businesses. So I'm really excited about it. It's a movement. It is something that is not out there.
No.
So this is something new. A lot of the places that I've looked up, what they do is they'll give kids the skills, and a lot of the times they're giving them the skills to do it when they get older. But we're giving kids these skills and this knowledge to do to own their own businesses right now in their youth. So I'm pretty excited about that. This is my life's work, and I'm super excited about what God is using me to do.
Amen.
In the community.
Yeah, and I'm excited for you because, when you sow a good seed, you can't help but to reap good. And we just don't know how God is going to harvest, how he's bringing the harvest to us. And I know that he is. And so Sonny, you have an awesome location out there. To my Villita, little village people, hello there. To my friends out there, mis compas, mis hermanos, mis amigos, saludos allá a los que viven en la Villita. This is a beautiful facility. If you guys have not seen it, you'll get to know more about it. Now, Sonny, obviously, I always go back to our roots. Something happened to get you to do what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about that.
I would say very, very young, I had so many different ideas. I had so many amazing ideas growing up. I was an inventor when I was little. I would just go around the house and try to, make stuff happen. And I had a really amazing imagination, as most kids do. And as you get older, some of that creativity and that imagination goes away because life happens. So I feel like the best age to get kids really, pumped up and excited about their future and things like that is at a young age, before life starts to happen to them. When they feel like they can do anything, the sky's the limit. And so, growing up for me, I'll tell you a little story. It's funny. There was this, and I don't know if you had this when you were young, but there was this little diary called My Magic Diary. And so this little diary, if someone else had the diary, you can go back and forth and message them with the diary. But I took it a step further when I was younger. I actually, I was tricking my mom. She laughs at me to this day. I was tricking my mom that I was messaging people in other countries. This was before email started. This was before text messaging started. Oh my. It did not exist at the time. And so when I look back on my life and I look back on the things that, came to me when I was little, and all the creative ideas and how God's still giving me those visions and those ideas now. I want to be able to help kids be able to, really, really, if you are a creative person, I want you to actually really enjoy doing that, helping them to be able to foster those ideas and really say, hey, let's look at this. Let's look at this even further. Okay, right. That idea. Let's take it to the next level, because you can actually be an inventor. I don't want kids to always think about what the jobs are that are just common to them. Working as a lawyer or a doctor and all these things. No, there's other things that you can do, and you want to do things that you actually were created to do. Things that really bring you passion and it really brings you joy. Right. And so that is one of the things that we are really trying to push now. Instead of people just looking for the job that makes the most money, when you do things that you love and things that bring you joy, and all of that comes after, and so, that's one of the things that we do at the ARC. We want kids to feel happy and want to, do what their life's work is. We don't want them to feel like, I even know for myself, there was times when I worked in different careers and I wasn't happy. And so this brings me so much joy. I get up very early in the morning. I'm so excited. I'm a mother of 4. I spend countless hours getting the programming and the curriculum and getting all the mentors and volunteers to get this program started. So this is really, this brings me so much joy. It made me really happy to help people start their own cleaning businesses. Yeah. So what I'm doing now for the youth, this is next level for me. It's like me looking at myself as a young woman or a young lady, and now I'm being able to give what I should have had then to other kids. So I'm pretty excited about it.
That's, and you have such a gift to the creativity that you have. So this is like an incubator for young business entrepreneurs. Yeah. Right?
This is, The ARC Entrepreneurial Center is going to be a business incubator for youth, and it's going to allow our youth to be able to start their businesses out of the company, out of the ARC Entrepreneurial Center. So they'll have mentors and coaches that will be able to help them along the way. It's almost like the same model that I had when I was starting, helping people start their own cleaning businesses. It's the same model. We help them with all the clients. We help them with the contracts. We go do all the work for them, and we kind of bring them in, and we show them how to do all the paperwork. We show them how to sell themselves to people so they can get contracts outside of what we get for them. And so we really, really show them how to start their own businesses. Not only that, we also help with leadership and character building. So we want to show them that it's not all about business. You know, you have to be able to be, your word has to be what it is. You know, whatever you say, you have to actually, stick with that. You know, you have to be loyal, and you have to be, there's a bunch of different skills that you need to, not skills, but things that you need to actually know how to do. I'll tell you a story. I've actually worked with a young lady. She was a beautician, and she wanted to know about business. She wanted to learn how to, work in an office and things like that. And so she was a beautician. She had no experience. I brought her in, and now she's doing really, really well. She's a project manager at a community center. So she's doing really well from a beautician to now doing what she wanted to do. And so one of the things that I've learned from, in my hiring process, you can have all the skills. You can be very, intelligent. You can have the degree, but there's certain things that won't give you, like, loyalty,
right,
kindness, being, someone that is just, on time. It's just certain character. A certain character you have to be able to work with me, and that's not. You can't, just have that. You gotta, that has to be like brought into you as you grow older. I can't teach you how to have character.
Right.
I already have that, And so we want to be able to give those biblical principles to kids, that character building, that, showing them this is what, a kingdom kid looks like. This is what, a godly, person looks like. And so we want to be able to give those skills to children.
That's awesome. And so
it's not just about business. It's also about, character. It's
character. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And having faith. There's a lot of kids that don't have faith in anything or themselves and find it hard to trust people, period.
Absolutely.
Because of the things that I had mentioned earlier, because society labels them, because there's teachers that have already said it in a very demeaning way that they're not going to amount to anything. They're not going to graduate. They're no good. They're not smart enough. They don't know how to do this. That's tearing down the ones that are already down. And that's systemic. And we know that the system is broken. I mean, I'm a product of Gary, Indiana. I did not allow the system to break me. I actually used it to encourage me to keep moving forward. But not everyone is like that. So we have to encourage, we have to motivate. And in places like your place, they could feel rather good about themselves, feeling professional, feeling with a great self-esteem, feeling important, because they are. And a lot of grown people need the services that you're offering, but you're catering this to what age groups, Sonny?
I'm catering this to ages 7 through 18. We will be teaching them skills in website development, graphic arts, photography, music, app development, and we will take those skills that they learn and we'll show them how to start their businesses with that. And so, in the next 5 years, we're going to have youth in the city of Chicago running their own businesses. How amazing does that sound?
That's awesome. And it's possible. Have you heard of the young girl, 10 years old, has now been offered, this was like a couple years ago, she invented a lemonade or a tea, and now she is blown up. She's a millionaire now, 10 years old.
Yes, I've heard of her. I've heard of a young man, he's from Chicago. He does bow ties. I've heard of a young lady. She actually was approached by Barbie to make Barbie clothes because she makes clothes. And I want to say she's about 11 or 12 years old. So
wow.
To say that young people cannot do this is the same mindset that they had. I want to say it was in the 16th or 17th century before education actually, started. When they were thinking, the lawmakers, they were thinking, let's do education. Let's have a system, paid for by taxation.
Right.
For these young people to be able to go to school and learn reading and math and all of those things. And at the time, they were saying, no, that's impossible. These little street kids, they're not going to be able to understand math and reading, and look where education is now. But I think we have to take it to the next level.
Exactly.
We have to take it to the next level, because what we're finding is, when you come out of college and things like that, there's not enough skilled workers. So there's not a lot of opportunities right out of college because you spend so much time in school. You haven't focused on the business side. You haven't focused on actually learning skills.
Right.
And so my hope is to be able to have, not just any after school program where you just go there and get babysat. No, we want to make it fun and innovative,
but
also give you things that you're going to need so that you can be able to, if you decide to go to college, you'll be able to come out of college and you will have a skill that you've been learning. When you were 7 years old, and now you're 21 and you're a master at it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to be able to offer kids.
That's awesome, and I applaud you for that. Para los que están escuchando aquí, los que no entienden tanto el inglés, aquí tengo a una mujer muy intelectual, muy creativa, muy hermosa. Se llama Sunny Davis de Chicago, en La Villita. Tiene su negocio allí, tiene una ubicación donde está abriéndole las puertas a los adolescentes de la edad de, what did you say, age 8 or 7?
Age 7 through 18.
De 7 años a 18 años de edad, para que usen su creatividad para el bien y no para el mal. Por si tienen alguna invención o alguna idea y de ahí salga su empresa, su negocio, allí es como enmoldarlos, entrenarlos para ser empresarios, para que no tengan un jefe más que ellos, sean los jefes. Y pues Sunny aquí les está ofreciendo estos servicios a nuestros jóvenes de la edad de 7 años a 18 años. Está en La Villita. Where are you located, Sunny?
I am located at 2458 South Millard. That is where we are located.
2458 South Millard?
Absolutely, yes.
2458 al sur de la Millard, ahí en La Villita. Go ahead.
Yep. The hours of the after-school program will be between 2:30 and 7. And when CPS, Chicago Public Schools, is out, if they're off for vacation or whatever, we actually start the program at 8 o'clock. So, on those days when CPS is out, we do have full day service.
That's great. So now, how are these programs being funded, Sunny, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm going to be really honest with you.
Yes.
My church is actually the organization that is backing this movement up, and myself. It's all being funded by me and my church. And so we're actually looking for grant opportunities. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for donors and things like that hear what we're doing, and they are as excited as we are about it, and would want to join a board and help us. Even if it's not something financial, we are looking for people that are interested in volunteering and mentoring, coaching. We're looking for people to help our children in the community. It is very needed. The area where I am, there's not a lot of places that kids can go to. I was meeting with the alderman over there, and he was just about to have a meeting with some principals about the lack of resources and after school programs in that area. So I am very excited to be one of those people that are coming, that is pretty much doing what is needed in that community. So we are looking for
wonderful.
We're looking for the support, whatever you guys can give.
Oh, well, you're getting it. You're getting it, Sunny. I will be one of them. But when we come back, we got to play some commercials. We want to know how we can donate, how we can get involved. And so don't go anywhere, Sunny. We'll be right back after these.
Thank you.
Mi nombre es Jocelyn, soy de México, Michoacán. Yo vine acá en el 2012.
Meet Rosalie. She's from Mexico and came here in 2012. She began working, but wanted to expand her knowledge and employment opportunities.
When I came here and I started working in a factory, it wasn't for me. I decided to enroll to Excel Center. My teachers are amazing.
It wasn't easy. She had to learn a new language and stay motivated to achieve her goals.
I was scared. I didn't know English per se. You have to believe in yourself. I can do this.
And she did. Rosalie graduated and completed her citizenship on the same day.
Thank you, Woodville, for providing Excel Center so I can follow my dreams.
Now's the time to develop your career at Excel Center, a free high school for adults. Earn a diploma with flexible class schedules and free childcare. Enroll today at excelcenterhs.org.
Steve's Tire and Service Center reminds motorists every 6 days a tow truck driver is killed while helping stranded motorists on the road. While driving, avoid distractions like texting. Keep a lookout for tow truck drivers. They are our first responders on the road. Driving cautiously may save a life. That's courtesy of Steve's Tire and Service Center. For complete auto repair
See what you look
and
like, what?
service, call 815-942-5080. They're equipped with the right staff to take care of your car. Call 815-942-5080 for Steve's Tire and Service.
Ooh, hot Cheetos are hot, man.
Liberty Street in Morris.
Now in Northwest Indiana, we're proud to introduce Agape, a futuristic transportation service owned and operated by Emmanuel Smith. Emmanuel Smith has more than 20 years of experience in the transportation business. So if you need a ride to get to the airport or any other points of interest, call Agape at 219-588-8548. Once again, that's Agape at 219-588-8548. Agape will provide you with a prompt, convenient, and courteous service. Call Agape at 219-588-8548.
30 seconds.
I got two questions. What's your name again?
Sunny.
10 seconds. And you are back.
All right, welcome back. Bienvenidos aquí. Feliz viernes. Estamos con una mujer muy poderosa porque está aquí para hacer una diferencia en nuestros jóvenes. Back to Sunny on the line. She's a special guest here from the ARC Entrepreneur Center. So why are you calling it ARC? Why did you call it ARC?
Well, I am fascinated by the story of Noah. In the Bible, and how, the ark was a symbol of a new life for his family. And so when we came up for the name of the ark, that is the story that came to me. Having a new life, a new start for, generations to come. And so this is going to be, the ark is going to be that vessel that God uses to be able to, help families from generations to come. And so that is what we got the name from, and that is what we're going with. It's definitely a vessel that God is going to change.
Amen.
Education. He's going to change a lot of lives through this place. And so we're so excited about it.
Yes, I'm excited. Just, nothing happens coincidentally. It's Godcidentally. There's no coincidence but Godcidence, okay?
Absolutely.
And so we were talking about your funding. It's you, your church, and kudos to your church that's backing it up. But we need the community. It takes a village to raise a child, right? Yeah. So we're going to ask that for you to give that information, but I believe my co-host Juan has a few questions for you.
Absolutely. Okay.
Hi, Sonny. This is Juan Andrade. You pretty much mentioned cleaning business. What other businesses have the youth started? And second of all, as far as your business, have you just strictly worked with youth, or did you start out with teaching adults how to start their new business, or was it just strictly with youth?
So I've actually I've helped my aunt had a youth program when she was here, and I used to help her run that program. And so for years I worked with the youth, but not so much in what I did for a living. It was always that side job, my passion. I would always have to do on the side. I feel so lucky to be able to do my passion now. You know, I get to do that as my life's work. But before, you know, helping people start businesses, I've worked at the International Fellowship of Christian Jews, and there, you know, I worked in the development department there. And then previously, I worked as the Senior Director of Operations at a community center. And so I've done work as far as helping the community, being a resource, being, you know, someone that has the connections and the knowledge. I've also helped open up a charter school on the west side of Chicago. So I've been around the block.
Nice.
So I know how to start businesses. I know what it takes to, you know, start businesses, and I've been doing it for such a long time. You know, I've decided to put my passion of starting businesses and the youth, bringing those both together. And so I do believe that youth, that's the new wave. I believe that the youth is going to change the world. And and I do believe that we have to take people like ourselves with the knowledge and information to put it to good use. And you know, and so I'm really excited. Kids that I've talked to and you know, talked about the program too, they're super excited. I told them on Mondays, every Monday we have a group meeting, and I said, you got to wear suits on Mondays because I have to show you guys how to dress and things like that. And they were like, oh my God, I'm so excited. So they're
That's
excited
good
about it. They're looking forward to you know, embarking on this journey with me.
That's good.
This has never been done. And so I'm just excited to be the vessel that God uses to bring this out, to bring this to Chicago. So I'm super excited about it.
Amen. So on that note, some kids may not be able to afford a suit, a blazer, dress jacket. Will you be willing to accept donations from some of our business partners that they may not fit in those clothes anymore, and they're not going to try to either?
Yeah, so we'll be looking for donations in any form. I've had people from the community, they see what I'm doing. I had just awareness of who we were. I had an event last year where we gave toys out and introduced ourselves to the community. And we also, our church also gave out, did a Thanksgiving dinner. So we had everyone from the community that was interested in having Thanksgiving dinner with us. They were invited to come. And so, on Thanksgiving Day, a lot of people, when they do Thanksgiving dinners the day before, it's the day, a couple days before, we had it on Thanksgiving Day. I had my Thanksgiving dinner there. I'm really, really passionate about what I'm doing. I'm really, really excited about it, and I am in it.
You are in it to win it, girl.
I am in it to win it.
Amen to that. Yeah. So we need sponsors. We need donations. Are you working under a 501c3? I'm not sure if you said that. Okay. Even better. Yes. So I know that there's people that will jump up to donate because you're a 501c3. To my Chicagoans, to my friends, to my families, be kind. Open your wallet. Drop in a couple of bills, some Benjamins, right, one?
And if there's also good, I don't know if they have Goodwills out there. You can get some great deals if they got.
So why don't you guys go out there and buy some blazers and drop them off over there at the Art Center so that Sonny can have them for the youth. Now we're talking about children from 7 to 18. One last time, give us your address and your contact information, your website, your phone number.
I'll give you all of that. So my address is 2458 South Millard in Chicago. Our Cash App is #ARC-EC. If you want to donate, you can go on our website, www.arc.org/donate. Our Facebook is ARC Entrepreneurial Center, and our phone number is 773-475-7790. God is going to provide.
Yes, He is.
I guess I really want to say, send your children. Send your children.
That's right.
You want your children to be enrolled. They're ages 7 through 18. This is my ask for you. Send them. This is going to change their lives. Everything I wish I had when I was their age, I am going to make sure your children have it. My phone number is, again, 773-475-7790. You don't want to miss this opportunity. It's going to be amazing. You're going to see a huge shift in the way education is being taught in the schools. And your kids are going to be trailblazers. They're going to be...
Right. Hey, that's right. You got to speak it. What's your number again? One more time, your phone number, Sonny.
Phone number is 773-475-7790.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sonny. And on that note, we're going to bring you back again. Hopefully you can physically be here. We got some commercials to play. So we'll talk off the air after the show then. Thank you so much, Sonny. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, EVE. Love you.
Love you more.
Bye-bye.
Estamos hablando de un programa especial, pero nos tenemos que ir a unos comerciales. ¿No commercials? Oh, okay. El número para si ustedes tienen un hijo o hija de la edad de 7 años a 18 años que desea ser parte de ese programa, 773-475-7790. 773-475-7790. We have a caller. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Oh, hi.
Hello there.
This is Shane.
Yes, Shane.
I kind of want to talk to you after the show. I didn't know I was going to go on the air again.
Well, we won't be back until tomorrow, Shane. And so we got to wrap up. We have a few more things to mention,
All
but
right.
I appreciate you listening.
Real quickly, before you leave, are you able to give me your number again?
We'll touch base after the air, okay? Call back at the station.
No problem.
Thank you. And we have a few minutes left, actually 2 minutes left. The sizzle is coming up. The sizzle. Let's see what they're sizzling and what they're sizzling about. But I do see a lot of white stuff out there, Juan. And I was told that it was not a little bit in Chicago, lakefront, lake effect, that it was actually a whiteout out there that you could not see. Well, that's nothing to surprise you, nothing to amaze you about, and nothing to freak you about. This is not new. We're in January. It's winter, people. So let's not complain. Be safe out there. Drive cautiously. Drive slow. Don't follow too close to people. I don't care what size of vehicle you drive. So just be careful out there. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock with the, what now? The Klein Bridge?
2 representatives from the Klein Avenue Bridge.
Klein Avenue Bridge. So we gotta go. Nos vemos. Mañana regresamos a las 10 de la mañana con otros invitados aquí para seguir informándolos de lo que está ocurriendo en nuestra comunidad y alrededor de nuestra comunidad. Así es que nos vemos. Mañana regresamos a las 10 de la mañana. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Peace to you guys. Nos vemos, Facebookers y YouTubers, aquí a las 10 de la mañana, sin pasar. Cuídense mucho allá, manejen con cuidado, quiéranse y respétense para que sean respetados. Peace to you guys. Hope you enjoyed today's program. Juan, if you enjoyed today's program.
Until tomorrow at 10 o'clock,
Hasta mañana.
Klein Avenue Bridge.
Hey.